Today on Eagle Nation News, Haley Brown traveled alongside the AP government classes on their class trip.
Triplets Alex, Miles, and Hannah all share a passion for the same sport. Grant Johnson has more on what it's like to have your siblings competing with you later in the show.
And finally, Haley Brown joins us in studio to provide some insight on the new Super Blood Wolf moon eclipse from 2 nights ago. Eagle Nation News starts
right now.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Tuesday, January 22nd. I'm Christina Folsom.
And I'm Cameron Silva.
Now, there's been some recent news on some avalanches in New Mexico and Colorado. Cameron, tell me more about that.
That's right, Christina. There have been 2 confirmed deaths following an avalanche in New Mexico last week. One of the men was trapped with 5 other skiers who attempted to resuscitate him after checking his pulse. The man likely passed due to the sub-zero temperatures.
In more local news, the cheer team traveled to Fort Worth for the UIL cheer competition and placed 5th overall out of 70 teams this past Friday and Saturday. Not to mention, this is their first year competing in 6A. Starting with their fight song routine, band chant, and a cheer in prelims, they advanced to finals with another cheer, offense, defense chant, fight song routine, and the band chant. Congratulations.
Though government
Haley Brown traveled with the AP government classes last week on their field trip. What she witnessed was far more influential than she thought. Take a look.
Although government and economics are required courses, the AP classes took a step into the real world to see how these topics will apply to them in a few short months.
In 1914, Dallas was chosen as one of the 12 locations in the nation to hold the Federal Region Reserve Bank. Despite the government being currently shut down, Mr. McCall and Mr. Kraft's AP Government and Economics classes took a step outside the classroom to see how economics can be applied to the real world.
The students departed from PHS to first take a trip to the Federal Reserve, where they are able to ask their prepared questions about how the bank stationed so close to home has an impact on the national economy. The students then participated in a scavenger hunt to learn about the history of U.S. economics.
So what have you taken away from the experience today at the Federal Reserve?
I just think it was really fun to be able to come and see how our economics class is used in real life and to be able to see how it's changed over time, kind of like what we learn in class, but it mixes more of the history with what we actually learn and how to apply it.
All right, so we just came from the Federal Reserve downtown. We are now at the George W. Bush Presidential Library, where students will be able to observe artifacts from Bush's presidency.
In the George W. Bush Library, the AP students took a trip through Bush's presidency, walking along a timeline of the president's accomplishments, challenges, and getting an insight to how our government is run.
So what was your experience like going through the George W. Bush Library?
It was really cool. Like, there were so many artifacts and that type of stuff. Like, there was this even like this steel pillar from like where the 9/11 and like the Twin Towers and that type of thing. And I thought it was so cool that I could just like see something that was so monumental like right in front of my face. I even got to like touch it and everything. So that was really cool.
Both the Federal Reserve and the George W. Bush Library were great educational opportunities for the AP students and allowed them to see how economics can impact their daily lives. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Haley Brown. Prosper.
Siblings are commonly known for their differences and an inability to get along, but this group of triplets breaks expectations through a similar bond. Grant Johnson reveals who after this.
Get back inside.
Family competition can range from fun to agonizing, depending on whether or not you're playing Monopoly.
Triplets Alex, Hannah, and Miles have more experience with family competition than the average siblings. Grant Johnson has more.
Competition is a vital part of any sport, as it provides motivation to achieve a goal and provides a challenge to demonstrate an athlete's determination.
I first started getting into swimming around the 3rd grade because we were doing like soccer, we did gymnastics, and then we did a bunch of other sports, but it just wouldn't stick. So then we started swimming because our neighborhood started a swim team. We just thought that was cool, so we decided to join.
And when I moved to Texas, getting all my friends go to the school, and then they also swim for a club team and the high school team.
The coach puts so much time into making her sets good and helping us get better and better, and she makes her practices in hopes of us getting better.
For Hannah, Miles, and Alex, these 3 triplets took competition to the next level, as they have grown up fighting for first place against one another through their shared passion for swimming. The pressure of competing side by side, or in the triplets' case, lane by lane, may seem intimidating for some. However, the triplets are able to connect through their love for swimming and have turned the competitive aspect of the sport into a support system for each other.
Well, I love seeing my brother and sister swim. I've loved it since I was a little kid, but sometimes whenever my brother beats me, I kind of get discouraged, but it always goes back and forth with speed and how well we do. It's like one meet, Alex could be way better than me, and then another I could be way better than him, or some meets we're just exactly the same, or some meets we're not good at all.
It definitely does motivate me to be better because I want to be like him and I want to be as fast as him and just be even, I guess.
Alex and I are definitely extremely competitive, and Hannah definitely wants to be like us and be ridiculously fast.
Yeah, we're very competitive. It's actually really bad how competitive we are.
While the siblings share the same DNA and the same passion for swimming, they go on to explain how they embrace their differences as well.
You know, being a triplet, I have different competitions, I have different ideas, different perspectives of swimming, and I have basically just a whole other person to tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right.
Some siblings don't play the same sport, but we understand the sport that we play, so we can talk about it and stuff and help each other get better.
Some days, you just wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I here? What am I doing? Some days you're like, oh, I want to swim, I want to get in, I want to do good.
They motivate me, they make me better because I get to compare myself to them. I need to be as fast as them, we need to be equal just because we're really competitive together, and this is how it is with siblings.
The Schultz triplets have used their similar interests as a way to make their bond even stronger and demonstrate how each of their personalities can differ despite their shared love for swimming. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Grant Johnson. Prosper.
Coming up, Haley Brown covers this past weekend's Unique Night Sky.
The Super Blood Wolf Moon eclipse was just 2 days ago. For those of you who might have missed it, Haley Brown joins us in studio to fill you in.
If you looked up at the night sky this past Sunday, you might have been caught off guard to see that the moon was actually red. What you were seeing is known as a super blood wolf moon, a rare type of lunar eclipse that we won't experience again until 2021. If you did go outside to catch a glimpse of the moon, you'd know that the view did live up to its rather extravagant title. The total lunar eclipse occurred at the same time as a supermoon, which occurs when the moon is full and closest to the Earth in orbit. The moon was in perfect alignment with the sun and the Earth, leaving the world with a view of the night sky they won't see again for a while. If you got any pictures of the blood moon, be sure to share them with us on Twitter at Eagle Nation News. Back to you guys at the desk.
That's all the time we have for today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Karen Silva.
And I'm Christina Folsom. Live long and prosper.